Hey everyone, today in this video I'll be talking about Prime because I'm going to admit when it was first being made and produced I was going to give it like the better part of like 4 months to stay on shelves. But fast forward to today and I'm definitely wrong because it's still like maintain that kind of attention to make it well known and have people talked about it and appear on headlines. And I will say it's not my fault because when you hear the idea of 2 YouTubers selling an energy drink that specifically targeted kids, you naturally expect that you like not do that well. But surprisingly, yeah, I have to concede, it's gotten to the point that it's well known and also making good money for both Logan Paul and KSI. And it's not purely because of like the die-hard fan base of just kids wanting to like demanding from the moms that they want you to drink Prime from like a local Tesco. Both of them have a lot of effort to make sure that it stays well known and it's actually seen as like, a good energy drink as opposed to a beverage that, only little kids drink. The first big moment that stands out in my mind is that one time where like they sponsored the UFC. I remember being taken back for like how big of like a deal that was both for the UFC and not really, but more so on the Prime side of it. Because I mean, it's the UFC, you have to fork over a lot of money to just have like your logo print out the octagon and have it like shouted out. So it was by far like not an easy choice to make. That was definitely risky. But I think it's safe to say that it did like boost up the name a little bit or by a lot in general and see it more as an actual good energy drink. If you're seeing UFC fighters drink it to like hydrate themselves. Which I know the whole aspect is like a different battlefield, like people saying if it's really good for hydration with like plenty of videos saying it that's not. But I'm simply making a point of how much like marketing strategy they've put into drink to make sure that it gets more and more attention. Which by the way, I'm sure that a lot of kids when they saw that Prime and UFC deal, I'm sure they had their minds blown by that. Oh my god, the sun. Put the cut, there we go, that's better. Good lighting. However, as much as I've been praising them for like the beginning of this video, but I can't deny that today I've seen the dumbest, like the worst, just so high price for a Prime bottle that someone not only listed on eBay, but also somebody else thought it was a good idea and bought it from them. I wish I could just spill out the price, but I really want to like set up a structure of showing you like the bottle to prove that it's not special and then show you the price to just show that it's nowhere near how much someone has paid for. To give some context, it all started back in January where Prime and Fortnite like had their own cute collab and Prime got their own map for people to like play around with. It wasn't like a huge event or like anything game changing. It was like a nice very simple team deathmatch kind of mode where it did have like a very simple faction of red versus blue, probably like the most overused faction in every single shooter ever, but whatever. This is literally a leaderboard where like the more kills you got in the map, the higher you would go up on that board, where by the end of a deadline, whoever was like at the top or like a group of people, they would get a prize for getting up to the top. And when I first heard that word prize, I thought it was like a very simple skin, but no, I had no idea they meant actual like prizes they could send to your house directly. And for the one that got you the very top, like the highest one on the leaderboard, they would get a set of 3 Prime bottles. And here they are on eBay. Very simple, they came in a nice bag, very basic but quite nice, I have to admit. But for the actual designs of the bottle, not bad. Like you can tell they made their own designs just for these 3. But the last one looks more or less like kind of like a fake bottle you would find in some store. But overall, yeah, not that bad if you got to the top of the leaderboard. So now that you've seen what they look like, I want you, in your own perspective, like if you're a fully grown ass adult, I want you to think in your mind, like take a second, how much would you pay for these 3 bottles? If you're financially stable enough, let's say, to spend over £130,000 on it, or around $160,000. That much for just 3 pieces of plastic with like barely, it might just be water in there. Like nobody's gonna buy that and open it to drink it. They're gonna put it on their shelf to like just rot for the rest of time. They gotta put like some generic flavor on that bottle because no one's gonna drink it. But it doesn't matter because the guy that earned it, fair enough, they worked hard. But you said that kind of price after you just won it. That's just insane to me. Oh, and please don't think I'm joining the side of the buyer because he's equally as retarded to spend that much money. Like I don't care how much money he has or if he's like on the brink of death and he wants like he wants you to take off his bucket list. I don't know what kind of list he has, but he definitely had some motive to spend that much money on just Prime. And good god, 202 bids, what a fierce battle. I know eBay is like already a chaotic place, but having that much people willing to like tearing each other's throats out for just that's just crazy to me. I would really hate myself if I didn't mention the guy that bought it, because it wasn't just like a kid that wasted like all of their parents' money. To be fair, it was a grown-ass man who runs a YouTube channel, Prime Creations, which, by the way, in this article by Dexerto, he's described as, get this, owner of arguably The biggest Prime collection in the world. As if like that's like a really proud merit you have and boast about. I'm gonna look up his channel right now, and I swear to God, if all his videos are just purely that, just talking about Prime, I refuse to believe that. My f***ing God, I was right. It's just, that's everything it does. So I guess, yeah, this channel with 2.88 million subscribers just makes videos about Prime because that, I guess, yeah. Okay, you know what? I really don't want to end this video making it seem like I hate Logan Paul and KSI for making it because I love him so much. But in reality, it's really not that bad when you consider that they didn't sell it for that much. It was more so like a prize for a competition they had to give it to someone, you know, that worked hard. Maybe the person that won it, you know, cheated a little bit. I'm not sure. It's more so the fact like someone who got a prize from a competition decided to straight away put it on eBay for that much money. Which, let's be honest, that's like about the same price of a really good car. I would have loved this so much better if like the guy that sold it had like the same price, but people were smart enough to not spend that much money, and he ended like a week after, he lowered it back down to like maybe like £2.50, which, you know, is the price of like an actual Prime drink. So when you take that into fact, like it probably costs like, you know, £1 or $1 to make the drink. They made back a profit of like 1,000 times more. I mean, it's not really a profit because they didn't like make the drink, they won it, but then sold it anyways. The last thing I want to mention before in this video is that I feel like Prime as a brand in general is probably going two directions. One being like a joke drink, especially after like one of the earlier designs or flavor was like that chicken or KFC one, where they literally gave one to Kai Cenat and he spat it out because it was that bad. I mean, to be fair, I don't think the idea in the beginning of a fried chicken flavor of an energy drink, they wouldn't really focus on, you know, good quality taste. But then the opposite of that is like Prime becomes a more designer kind of brand, where it becomes more of like a fashion statement, like a brick bear, like something you don't really care about how much it costs. It looks good on a shelf and you just put it there for like, you know, a decoration. Which admittedly, before I saw this eBay listing, I wouldn't have believed that, but now seeing how much money people are willing, 202 people are willing to pay for this, I really wouldn't be surprised if that was the direction they went to, which could definitely happen. My only gripe is just the idea of having like a drink as a collection seems so dumb. You're literally paying for a bottle of plastic with a liquid inside that's just rotting over time, which, let's be honest, at that point you're paying more for the plastic, just the simple cheap plastic around the bottle. Like, God, that sounds so miserable.